Good morning. I'm wearing a face mask to curb the spread of COVID-19, but my spectacle lenses are fogging up. Those who wear spectacles are all too familiar with this situation that seems to take over vision as lenses fog up during simple and common tasks like sipping a cup of coffee or boiling a pot of water. Why does this happen? When I clean my hands with some hand sanitizer, my hands are feeling cool. Why? Take a closer look at the things around us. We might not realize, but what happens around us in everyday life can be explained by science. In this lesson, let us see how the changes of state of matter relate to our daily life. The content standard is 5.2, 3 states of matter. After today's lesson, you are able to explain with examples the changes of the state of matter in daily life. Last lesson, you have learned about the changes in the state of matter. When solid melts, it turns into liquid. Liquid can turn into gas while boiling and evaporation. During condensation, gas turns into liquid, and liquid freezes to become solid. Sublimation is a process that turns solid into gas and gas back into solid by passing the liquid state. Melting, boiling, evaporation, and sublimation from solid to gas are the processes that involve heat absorption, whereas heat is released during freezing, condensation, and sublimation from gas back to solid. Now, let us look at some real-life examples of how matter experiences changes in their states. At room temperature, ice absorbs heat from the surrounding and melts. If you place chocolate and butter under the hot sun, they will also melt. Freezing. Water becomes ice when it is placed in a freezer. This is because water particles lose heat energy to the surrounding, becoming colder and colder. Finally, it will freeze when it reaches 0 degrees Celsius, the freezing point. Another example of freezing is sweet cream freezes to become ice cream. Boiling. When water is heated, the water particles absorb heat energy, and when it reaches the boiling point, water boils. Another example of boiling is the boiling of milk. Many examples of evaporation occur daily. Evaporation is a process that takes place on the surface of liquids. During evaporation, liquids turn into gaseous state. One of the most common real-life examples of evaporation is the drying of clothes under the sun. When the wet clothes are put under the sun, they get heated up, resulting in the evaporation of water particles present on the wet clothes, making the clothes dry. Isn't it magical that a bowl of hot soup cools down after some time? The hot soup in the bowl evaporates. During evaporation, heat is absorbed and removed from the hot soup, resulting in the cooling down of the soup after some time. Another example of evaporation is the drying of food under the sun. Much like evaporation, Condensation also occurs in day-to-day life. For example, dew is formed when water vapor in the air condenses on the cold surfaces of the leaves and becomes water droplets. Water droplets form on the outside of the glass as a result of condensation. Water vapor in the surrounding air condenses on the cold surface of the glass to form water droplets. Next, let's look at examples of sublimation in daily life. Mothballs are placed on shelves, in drawers, and in cupboards to keep insects away. Over time, these mothballs shrink in size until there is nothing left. This is because mothballs sublimate and change from solid to gas. The chemicals released get rid of insects. Dry ice is used by ice cream vendors to prevent their ice cream from melting. Dry ice or solid carbon dioxide absorbs heat energy from the ice cream and changes to gas during the process of sublimation. This keeps the ice cream cold. Have you ever noticed that ice cubes in a freezer shrink in size when they are left in there for a few weeks, even though melting did not occur? These ice cubes are actually sublimating in the freezer. Every time the freezer door opens, the ice cubes absorb heat energy from the air outside and change to gaseous state. This is why they look smaller after some time. Next, let's look at the changes of state of matter in a bathroom. The solid air freshener goes through sublimation. The solid in the can sublimates to release a sweet-smelling gas until there is nothing left in the can. Water in the toilet bowl evaporates and becomes water vapor. The shower screen becomes clouded due to condensation. Steam from the hot shower condenses into water droplets when it touches the cold surface of the shower screen. I have just showered and I feel cold. Why do I feel cold? This is because the water droplets on my skin are evaporating, removing heat from my body. This also happens when we sweat. The sweat requires energy to evaporate off your skin, and it gets energy from the excess heat your body is producing, in turn causing you to cool down. I'm in the rush to go out, but my hair is still wet. I need to dry my hair immediately. The only possible solution is drying my hair with hair dryer. Water evaporates from my hair due to the heat from the hair dryer, and my hair is dry. Next, let's look at some examples of changes of state in a kitchen. I'm making some ice cream. I'm heating some sugar until it turns into syrup. What is the process involved? Yes, it is melting. I'm adding some milk and flavoring into the syrup. The mixture is heated until it is bubbling. What is this process called? Yes, it is boiling. Boiling is an essential cooking method used to prepare everything from pasta to vegetables and meat. The mixture is placed in the freezer. What do you think will happen? Yes, it will freeze and become ice cream. Let me try and see if the ice cream tastes good. Delicious. But the ice cream is dripping. What is going on? Yes, the ice cream is melting. Oh no, I need to clean the floor. How does the wet floor dry up? Yes, evaporation occurs. Imagine you are in a car. It is raining and the air conditioner is not working. As a result, the windscreen is getting clouded. Why does the windscreen become clouded? When it rains and the air conditioner in the car is not working, the temperature outside the car is cooler than the temperature inside the car. So, when the water vapor of the warm air inside the car touches the cold surface of the windscreen, it condenses. Small water droplets form, and this is why the windscreen becomes clouded. Next, let's answer a few questions. To make chocolate milk, Mrs. Ling puts a bar of chocolate into some milk and heats the milk for some time. What processes has Mrs. Ling applied? The answer is boiling and melting. Boiling of milk and melting of chocolate. During winter, some countries experience snowfall. Which of the following process is involved in the formation of snow? The answer is freezing. After being under the sun for some time, a bar of soap loses its shape and becomes sticky. Which of the following process is involved here? The answer is melting. Solid gold changing to liquid goes through the same process as? The answer is butter being heated. The process involved is melting. Which of these statements is true? The answer is evaporation happens when wet clothes start drying. What's the answer for this question? Water vapor in the air condenses on the outer surface of the glass. What happens when you spray some perfume on the palm of your hand? The answer is it evaporates. There are a lot of insects destroying your clothes in the cupboard. So, your mother puts some mothballs in the cupboard. How do the mothballs work to solve the insects' problems? The answer is mothballs supplement and release chemicals that get rid of the insects.
So boys, can you tell teacher some examples of the changes of state of matter that happen around you?
When I come out of the aircon room, my glasses get popped up. This is due to condensation.
The water in the sink dries up because of evaporation.
After I wash my hands feel cold because of evaporation.
Water droplets form on the outer surface of the water bottle because water vapor from the air condenses on the surface of the water body.
For the homework, draw these three maps and write an example for each change of the state of matter in daily life. Have you ever wondered how rain is formed? Rain is formed during the water cycle. What are the changes of state of matter involved in the formation of rain? Write the answers in your exercise book.
While face masks help us avoid unknowingly transmitting coronavirus, millions of eyeglass wearers are discovering the nuisance of mask-induced foggy lenses. By now, you should be able to explain this situation. As we wear our face masks, warm exhaled air that contains water vapor escapes from the top of the mask and lands on the cooler surface of the lenses. Condensation occurs and the tiny water droplets are formed on the lenses. This causes the lenses to fog up. Alcohol-based hand sanitizer leaves your hands feeling cool because of the alcohol content that evaporates much faster than water. So it pulls heat away from your hands and reduces the hand's overall temperature. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you.